This dialogue and for your contribution towards a mine-free world. At this point, I would like to call upon Chief Nechombo to present his remarks.
Regai nditi zvakare ndicherechedze vanoremekedzwa Honorable Minister of Defense in absentia. Do cherechedzewo zvakare Honorable Minister Tawengwa. Do cherechedzewo zvakare ma Honorable Ministers vari pakati pedu. I as well would want to recognize our honorable ambassadors, and in the interest of time, allow me to say all protocol observed. A very good evening and morning to all of us. As beneficiaries of the collectivism interventions which are here present. As we gather today to reaffirm our shared commitment to the critical work of mine action and mine victim assistance, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of us for an unwavering dedication of creating a safer and more inclusive country free from the devastating impacts of landmines and explosive remnants of war. Our presence here underscores the importance of this mission. Ladies and gentlemen, it is common knowledge that among other areas, landmines were planted, especially in areas along our borders. In Mashonaland East, a place where I come from, landmines were planted in areas like Mudzi, Kotwa, Nyamapanda, along the boundary between Zimbabwe and Mozambique. As a result, landmines and explosive remnants of war continue to claim lives, to injure, to shatter families, and impede progress in affected communities. These silent killers do not differentiate between a soldier, a farmer, innocent children going to and from school, our livestock. Several individuals have been injured, some losing parts of their bodies, leaving people unable to actively fend for their families. As a result of these injuries, some families have plunged into poverty. Some require continuous medication, with the relatives of the injured left psychologically traumatized and haunted for life. Ladies and gentlemen, that being the situation, on behalf of our communities and from our heart of hearts, let me extend our appreciation to our government of Zimbabwe for the remarkable progress on landmine clearing and mine victim assistance. This has been made possible through the collective efforts of our government, other like-minded international organizations, NGOs, and local communities. Whilst progress has been made, more still needs to be done on the remaining area to be demined. Further, prosthetic limbs, physical therapists, specialized physicians, and rehabilitation centers are scarce in the majority of Zimbabwe's rural areas where minefields are located. Mashonaland East is also not an exception. People from rural areas, including landmine victims, choose to stay home and receive traditional treatment because they are unable to travel to access these special services, or because they cannot be away from their families or a source of income for extended periods of time. Hence, there is still need to focus on mobilizing adequate resources to effectively provide medical care, psychological support, rehabilitation, social reintegration, and economic support to people injured by landmines, with ultimate goal of meeting people's needs and empowering them to participate fully in our society. As chiefs, we really appreciate this workshop as it forms a solid foundation for mobilizing our more resources for the demining exercise and mine victims assistance program. As you are aware, over and above our mine victims, land is at the center of our survival in rural areas. The presence of landmines has reduced our access to agricultural, grazing, and mining land. Many of us were removed from these contaminated areas which are our ancestral land and shared and sacred shrines. It is the wish of our people that one day we shall in totality reconnect with our ancestral homesteads and shrines. Our animals and livestock know no boundary, and they continue to die. We live in perpetual fear, and these landmines thereby affecting our well-being. As we look ahead, allow me to outline these priorities of our joint efforts, which we call NIMBE, for this important common cause. Number one, strengthening collaboration. Enhanced coordination among stakeholders is essential to maximize impact and resource efficiency. We must leverage our collective expertise and experience. Chiefs are at the focal point for the implementation of all our envisioned interventions which help our communities. Sustainable funding. Securing predictable and adequate funding is critical to sustainable mine action programs and supporting victims over the long term. As such, a call for the establishment of technical vocational centers with similar features to the vocational center is an imperative. Community-centered approach, ensuring that affected communities are at the heart of our interventions, will enhance the relevance and sustainability of our initiatives, bearing in mind that the burden of landmine is also weighing heavily on rural communities. To that end, distinguished colleagues, the work we do is not just about removing landmines from the ground. It is about restoring hope, rebuilding communities, and reaffirming the value of human life. I look forward to a fruitful discussions and collaborations today as we move forward with purpose and determination. I thank you.